Hi everyone, this is Sieg Suarez and welcome to another episode of Watch Manila. Today we are going to do a special episode on Watches and Wonders. Earlier this year, we went to Geneva for the Watches and Wonders, and I will show you what happens during the fair and behind the cameras. We are currently in Dubai en route to Geneva, and we're going to Watches and Wonders and we're going to see what's going on there.
Be arriving in Geneva shortly. Please return to your seat. Make sure your baggage is under the seat in front of you or in the overhead locker. Your seat must be upright with the armrest down and your seat belt secure.
We're here in Geneva for Watches and Wonders. So Watches and Wonders is like the event of events for watches. It's probably the most important event for the year. So you have the Masters for golf, the NBA Finals, WrestleMania, Super Bowl. This is it for watches. You just have to be there, and the biggest watch releases are usually introduced during Watches and Wonders. So the question is, can you just visit Watches and Wonders? Yes, you can, because there are non-public and there are public days. So usually the first 4 or 5 days are reserved for the press, the exhibitors, the VIPs, and so on and so forth. And the remaining 2 to 3 days are for the public, and anyone can go in there and see the novelties for the year. Now, I was able to get in there during a non-public day. This was on April 4, and this was through Jaeger-LeCoultre and Lucerne. So I thank JLC and Lucerne for helping me out and making my stay in Geneva memorable. For this trip, I brought my Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso. So the Watches and Wonders is usually held in the Palexpo, which is near the airport. So wherever you stay in Geneva, you just take a public transportation, or you can have your own ride and you can go near the airport. You're going to be at the Palexpo. And for the public days, the prices of the tickets can be found on the website. So what was convenient for me was that there was an invitation sent to me, and there's this app. It's the Watches and Wonders app, and you're going to see your pass. So this was my pass, and there's a validity here which states the days where you can go in. Throughout this video, I'm going to insert shots from inside Watches and Wonders, and I might do a voiceover because I did take a lot of videos, so I'll share that with you throughout this episode. Now, the only thing I regret is that I only spent 1 day there, so I couldn't go and visit the other booths, and I couldn't have schedules there. So now let's go back. When you enter the Palexpo, they have the security and everything's just organized right there. Not too long, you just get in and you're going to see the hallway immediately, and you're going to see the souvenir store. You're going to see some of the smaller booths. Then when you go down, you're going to see a much big hallway and everything, big corridor. You're going to see the brands which participated for Watches and Wonders. One of the first things which I've observed is that their booths are really, really big and immersive. So you've heard this, you've probably seen this, you've read this, that their booths are big, but you will not be prepared for the sizes of the booths when you're actually there in Watches and Wonders. Also, I got to meet a lot of people during Watches and Wonders. There were some Filipinos who were there, from local authorized dealers, collectors, and just good Filipino people there. And aside from that, we did meet Waco and Teddy Baldassare. We also got to meet one of the legendary people from Vacheron, Christian Salmoni. So amazing guy. So my initial thoughts on the Watches and Wonders. Number one, you can't finish everything in 1 day. The fair is just really too massive. You have a lot. You look at there, that's never ending. Then the second one, you have great releases this year from Rolex, Tudor, Patek, IWC, JLC, and Actually, all brands. The third is if you can go on a non public day like this one, please do, because the public days would likely be chaotic. A lot of people will go here. Another realization I have is that you have to book the sessions ahead of time, or if you know people, then that's better because you can get in and you can have touch and feel sessions with the watches. If you don't know people or you don't have sessions, then you will have limited access. You can only view them in the windows. You can go inside, but there's a limited part which you can go through. But if they're expecting you, or if you've booked sessions, then you can go inside and take a look at some of the watches in detail, more than what you see in the window display. This is IWC and we're heading inside. Upon entering, you're going to see to your left the car used in the F1 movie and one of the Mercedes-Benz vehicles used for filming the scenes. You're also going to see the novelties. This one is the full carbon ingenieur. This is the ingenieur perpetual calendar, combination of design and function. This one is the ingenieur in full gold. This is the Portugueser Day and Night Tourbillon, and this is the Eternal Calendar. Although it was released the year prior, it's still amazing to see it in person and get to feel it. We also saw our friend Thomas, the IWC watchmaker. Now it's time to head to Jaeger-LeCoultre. 2025 was the year of the Reverso, and JLC went with the Polo Club theme, and they had a booth with several horse stables, which had watches, of course, not horses. Shown here is one of the first Reverso models back in 1931, and also displayed are some of the other historical Reversos. It is great to know that JLC has kept the same design standard for the JLC Reverso for almost 100 years now, and you will also be amazed at how creative they were even back in 1930s. It's just Reverso galore all the way in the JLC booth. You can't get enough Reversos and all of them are beautiful. This is my favorite, the Reverso in gold in Milanese mesh. Look at the enameling work done on this Reverso Shaname. Absolutely incredible. There is also a Casa Fagliano booth with the descendant of Fagliano. This is our good friend Alexis, and he was the one who toured me through the JLC booth. And this is a shot of our Reversos. Now let's head to Rolex, where the Land Dweller definitely stole last year's show. As expected, the Land Dweller was prominently all over the place in the Rolex booth. When you enter, there is a big Land Dweller and a deconstructed Land Dweller. This is the gold version of the Land Dweller. How do you like the Land Dweller 1 year after its existence? Do you like it or not? Comment down below.
C'est 36, celle-là, c'est laquelle 14, c'est quoi? C'est une 36 ou une 40? Je pense que c'est une 40.
Now this one was one of the other releases, the Lefty in green dial in white gold. Here's the original Lefty. This is my favorite, the 1908 Insettimo bracelet. Look at that. Such a beautiful bracelet and watch. Now it's time to head to Vacheron Constantin. This is Vacheron Constantin. At the center of the booth is the Solaria, the most complicated wristwatch in the world, created by Vacheron. We were able to go up close with certain pieces such as this new steel 222. This one is a piece of art. It's the traditional tourbillon retrograde date open face, limited 370 pieces. Like the previous piece, this is also in platinum, the traditional open face complete calendar. This is the beautiful traditional anniversary edition, limited to 370 pieces. This one is the Patrimony limited edition, also limited to 370 pieces.
Who is the lucky owner of the chrono skeleton?
And this one is the traditional Tourbillon Perpetual Calendar Anniversary Edition. Beautiful piece. Unbelievable.
What do you think?
Yeah?
Super nice.
So Guilloche dial, of course, with this one as well.
Now we head to Parmigiani Fleurier. This right here is the cleanest perpetual calendar I've ever seen in my life. Amazing watch by Parmigiani. Our good friend Theodore welcomed us to Parmigiani and Watches and Wonders. We now look at the Tudor booth in Watches and Wonders. This was several floors, around 2 or 3 floors. I was then presented with the novelties of Tudor, and for me the star of the show was definitely the Black Bay 58 in burgundy, and this one had the 5-link bracelet which was absolutely stunning in person. This one is the Pelagus Ultra, which is in titanium and is capable of deep sea diving, and the next one is the Black Bay Pro with white dial, which is also nice. We then proceed to Tag Heuer, which also had several novelties for 2025. For Tag Heuer, it was a classroom style batch per batch presentation. So they discussed the watches first and they allowed us to see the watches firsthand.
A very iconic piece for us as well because it was symbolic of the merger of Target. No, we only have one piece, but it's on also part of both collecting
This F1 is a personal favorite of mine. The green execution is great. There is an F1 simulator inside the Tag Heuer booth, which is actually pretty well done. This is a photo with Bryce of Tag Heuer and the principals of Lucerne. We also decided to check the window displays in Patek Philippe. So of course they have the new Cubitus, and this is a personal favorite of mine, the 40mm. They have the novelties displayed around the booth. But the favorite release of mine is the 6196 in platinum, waiting for the rose gold version. Also on display are the Sky Moon Tourbillon, the Grandmaster Chime, which are absolutely watchmaking marvels. How about the Aquanaut Luce gem set? Even if you're not a fan of these gem set watches, you just really have to admire at how beautiful the piece is. Yes, it's loud, but it's tastefully loud. Geneva is really in that Watches and Wonders spirit. So you get to see concerts from different places and you'd get to see live bands playing. You'd get to see several Watches and Wonders posters, signages, banners, and it's just all over the place. One thing which is really cool is if you take a look at the watch boutiques, there's always a long line with all these stores. So when you go in, you get some freebies or you get some nice stuff because it's Watches and Wonders season. So some of the stores, they do have the novelties in the store right away. So as an example, I went to this one Tudor store and the red Black Bay was already there for exhibition even while it was just launched during Watches and Wonders. So do I recommend you to go to Watches and Wonders? Of course, you have to visit. It's absolutely wonderful. It's probably the best thing ever. It's like Disneyland. It's just the happiest place on earth for watch enthusiasts like us. So you have to visit it even just once in your life. It's an experience that you will forever have, and as much as you could, just go visit. Probably the best is if you can do it more days, then that would be better. Someone asked me before, is there food in Watches and Wonders? How do you eat there? So largely you have two options. The first one, you have this semi-fine dining thing, and you have tables scattered in the big hallways of Watches and Wonders of the Pal Expo. And second is, so you go to this cafeteria kind of place and you have different sections there with different cuisines. It's a massive place. It's much faster than waiting for that fine dining-ish area. So you have those options. And for me, I decided to do the cafeteria thing because it's much faster and I could accomplish much more things. What really sucked for me is that I didn't have much time because I only had a day and you have to absorb a lot of things and it's all fun. It's beautiful. Everything is just absolutely stunning. But I wish I had more days because my contacts in different brands invited me to their booths and I wasn't able to visit all of them or spend time with all of them. So some of the booths which I actually got to visit and see for myself were Tudor, Jaeger-LeCoultre, of course, IWC, Tag Heuer, Parmigiani, and I'm not sure if I forgot someone, but yeah, I had other brands which I had schedules in and I couldn't fit it anymore. Some of them include Rolex, Panerai, and the like. So maybe next time I'll budget more days for Watches and Wonders. Another question is that can you just walk in and feel the watches, look at it, and experience it? For that one, you have to have schedules. So you can book schedules, and some of these brands allow you to do a touch and feel without prior schedules, but the others, you just really have to book. So for me, for example, I was able to get invitations from different brands, but I know you could book your touch and feel sessions through the app and through the Watches and Wonders interface, and you don't need to get invitations for most part. I really enjoyed this Watches and Wonders, and I would really hope to be back there. And so if you have any other questions about Watches and Wonders, just send me a message and I'll try my best to answer it. And hopefully you guys can have this experience as well. It's really, really a dream come true, and it's really, really something which you'd have to check on your bucket list. So that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Sieg Suarez, and continue to join me watch the watches.